So I thought I'd do an update on where I am with my Land Rover Defender, the new project on the channel, what have I got planned and what is going to be happening in the next few months. As you can probably see, it is still very much stock. I have given it a really good clean. If we start from the front, for example, where these chassis plugs were, I've taken these out and I've jet washed through the whole chassis on there. And you know what, considering it's been a farm vehicle all its life, the actual condition of it isn't as bad as I thought. There's quite a bit of surface rust that I would kind of expect, and what I saw pretty much the same on my TD5 I had previously. But you know what, the chassis isn't in bad condition at all. There's no holes in it at all. I've cleaned off most of the dirt now, so you can actually see what you're dealing with. But if you take a look under here, it's not really in that much of a bad state. I thought it was probably going to be worse. There's certainly no areas that will need welding or anything like that, which I'm very pleased of. Wheels have come out pretty nice as well, wheels and tyres. Obviously these are a little bit rusted, but could easily be finished up and repainted, and the tyres themselves aren't too bad looking at them there. So overall, I'm quite pleased with the condition that the vehicle's kind of come up in. Cleaned it off. I can't remember the exact colour of grey of this. It's not Chorus. I can't remember at the moment, but there's a few bodywork issues, as you can probably see, which I knew about, but a few scratches there, a few bent panels like on this. It's got its rear cover on at the moment because I'm kind of just using it to store stuff in at the moment and just moving stuff to the tip actually, so it's been quite a handy vehicle to have for that. Biggest change for me really has been just seeing the bodywork isn't as bad as I thought. I know this does look bad from here, but it did look worse. Rear crossmoon, for example, bit of delamination on there, but not too bad. This side again, the paintwork's not actually as bad as I thought. And although I do want to get this resprayed and recoloured, I'm actually quite impressed with how good the bodywork has come out. Yes, there's a few scratches and dings, but nothing that I didn't know or expect when I bought this thing from the farm. Probably the biggest change and the biggest thing that I've noticed with it really has been the interior, because I've cleaned up the interior and that was quite the job. That hadn't really been done for probably about 20 years, to be honest. And I've cleaned it up now, taken all the carpet off here, been under the footwells. You can see how good those footwells look. Considering how dirty it was, they are very nice. They are better than probably what my 2007 TD5 would look like actually. I've taken the carpet off the seat boxes, kept it on there. I've been under the seats as well and cleaned through those. These do have the tip up bases of old Land Rover seats, you can actually get them off and take a look underneath, and as you'll see, not really that bad. I thought it was going to be much worse than that, so I'm pleasantly surprised with that. There were behind here quite a lot of different bits and bobs that I found, but as you can see, cleaned it all out now. Only done the first clean on it. It probably will need another one just to get it going. These seats don't really lock back pretty well, as you can see, well demonstrated there. The other thing was the roof liner too. So roof liner was very filthy, and I've just sort of wet sponged it, to be honest, and that seems to have cleaned most of it up. Don't know whether I'm going to get this roof liner wrapped like I did my other one, but it's actually pretty straight. It's not sagging in the middle or anything like that, which is always a good sign with these headliners. And if I take you around the driver's side, if we go in here, seat's obviously a bit destroyed because it's been sat on a lot on that corner, so people getting in and out, but again, not that bad. Footwells on this side, classic place to check for Defender. You can see under there, take this footwell out, take this mat out for you actually, you can see it's really solid. It's just where, you know, the nuts and bolts are that it's a bit rusted, which I would expect, but it's actually really solid. One thing is heating controls are completely broken, they need fixing, I've discovered, but it's really not been that abused. Really, it's just been used as a farm vehicle, but it's not been tampered with or messed with. There's been absolutely no modifications done to it. It's completely stock, which I'm quite enjoying with this Defender at the moment, going through it. So yeah, that's what it looks like inside. Door cards, not the best, a few nuts and bolts missing, but they're pretty straight, they're pretty tidy. They've got no holes in them at all. They'll clean up really well when I do get around to doing that. Thing I do need to show you is the engine, and I'm sure those of you that are watching will have a good idea at what this is. On the engine, giving it a bit of a clean, TD5 engine, there's a bit of an oil leak at the back. So if you look right around the back here, there's a bit of a leak just in the back there. I haven't had a good look myself at trying to fix it yet, but it does drip oil underneath the vehicle. I'll see if I can get in a bit better to show you. But there's an oil leak somewhere in the back, of this. So I don't know what that is yet. I need to take the covers off and have a look. Someone said something to me about a cam belt seal, maybe. I need to learn a bit more and give that a crack because it is leaking oil a little bit. It was slightly low on coolant. It does get through a bit of oil now because it's got that leak too. But apart from that, it's running well. So I just need to look at that and get that sorted out. And then the question is, what is next? What am I doing to this? What is on the plan list? So what does it look like putting this Defender together and make it into something like my Keswick Green 90 that I've recently let go? For those who did watch that build, I've put together a completely free build guide, which is a 12-page PDF document of every single part I fitted to my Land Rover Defender 90. If you click the link in the description below or tagged in the comments at the top, you'll be able to go through there and I'll email you a copy of my guide. It's completely free and it's got every single part I fitted to my Defender 90, which I'm going to be using a lot of those same suppliers and parts for this 110 pickup that I'm doing. So firstly was going to be colour change, bodywork, mechanical stuff. So for me, I want to get this underneath of this car sorted and undersealed. And for that, I'm thinking of using Dinatrol this time to really seal it and get it properly sorted. That's the first thing. Secondly is mechanical. There's obviously a bit of an oil leak there. It has been serviced, this car, regularly, but I've still noted there's that little oil leak at the front. So any help on what that might be would be really useful to let me know in the comments. But I'm going to take a look as well and just give it some time, really. I haven't spent long on it yet, really working it out. Next is colour change. So what colour do you go for? It's a really difficult question and something that I've changed my mind with so many times. I would quite like to do a more heritage style build with this rather than my Keswick Green 90, which was a bit more urban spec maybe, you know, like the dark greens, gloss black. It was all kind of quite a street spec maybe, whereas this I want a bit more heritage. So maybe like not the Grassmere Green, because I feel like it's a waste spraying this Grassmere Green, but maybe non-Land Rover colour that is still quite a heritage colour is what I'm thinking for this. Your ideas would be appreciated for that as well. What would you spray this in if you were doing this from scratch? Resprays cost quite a lot of money, so I want to make it different to what it is currently, but also I'd quite like to do something that I can then add other parts to it. So I'd quite like to do a full galvanised hinges, galvanised front bumper, all the galvanised parts, and I think the heritage colours work quite well with that. I'd then keep the roof cream, the stone white, that kind of colour to match the wheels, if you can just see them just there. So that's my plan. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one when hopefully I'll be getting started and doing some work to this Defender.